be honest with you, I don't think I trust crafters who have organized spaces, because if they were crafting all the time, they wouldn't know where anything is because everything would be a total mess, such as me. Michelle here, also known as fancydinotparty, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to DIY something because I cannot afford it. Right off the bat, I cut my hair. Yes, it is much shorter now, and I absolutely love it. I want to start a new series on my channel where I find stuff that I like online and then try to make it for myself. And I know a lot of other channels do this as well. I also want to get involved in it because Instagram keeps showing me these ads, as I'm sure a lot of you guys get. It's a lot of like cute sweaters, cute tops, cute dresses, all that kind of stuff. There's a few factors in the reason why I'm not buying it online. One, I cannot afford it. That's the main reason. The other one is I'm not confident in buying clothes online and knowing my size. Unless it's an oversized sweater or an oversized t-shirt, I steer clear because I don't want to buy the wrong size. Because sometimes they'll be like, oh, it's this size, and then you get it and you're like, yeah, someone's lying and it's not me. I do want to start a new series. I don't know what I want to call it yet. That's the problem, is I don't know what I want to call this series yet. Currently, the working title is things that I want to own but I can't own because I cannot afford it. Thus, I have to DIY it myself. It doesn't rhyme, there's no ring to it. Also, the title is just way too long. I am not trying to come up with a new song title for an emo band in 2006. I need to shorten it down. If you have any suggestions of what I should call it, please comment it below. I appreciate it because I cannot think of anything right now. This is the first episode. I'm going to start off by trying to attempt to make this sweater. This sweater here is from Levi's. It is $80, and that's not including shipping and taxes. Probably over $100 for this sweater that keeps popping up on my feed, and I absolutely love it. It's the flowers. It's the flowers and this color green combined together. I want this sweater. I want this sweater so much. I don't have the money to buy it. Here we are. Last week I went on Poshmark and I typed in moss greens cardigan sweater, and I must have been on it for like an hour scrolling through trying to find something, and I did end up finding something, and it actually came in the mail the other day. The cardigan that I found is this one here. I think it's pretty cute, and I really like the color, and I actually don't own anything that is this color. What would you call this? Pea soup green. It's definitely giving me like 70s vibes, and I'm on board for that. The brand is... There should just be a compilation of me trying to pronounce brand names and getting them wrong every single time because I just can't do it. Alia, maybe? I don't know. This brand here, I do see this brand a lot when I go thrifting. It's a grandma brand. This is a grandma brand to me, but again, I love grandma brands, so I'm cool with it. And here's another reason why I don't like ordering things online, is because it looks fine in the photos and then you get it and it's a little different. It looks exactly like they had in the photos, but the sleeves look a little smaller. I did wash it, by the way. The sleeves just look a little bit smaller than they did in the photos. I thought this was going to be more of an oversized, and it fits me. Like, it fits me, but I thought it was going to be more oversized. The whole reason why I picked this up is because of the knit. So you can kind of see the knit pattern that they have in here, and what my plan. I have a whole plan. I got the cardigan that looks like the cardigan, and then I'm going to take these little crocheted flowers that I made. These are giving me, like, you know, hippie kind of flowers, but also the flowers you would see on SpongeBob. These are giving me SpongeBob vibe flowers. You know. The flower shape is very similar to the ones in the photos, except like they were made into the cardigan itself. I'm gonna like actually attach them. Now in this video, not gonna bore you with making a bunch of these crocheted flowers. If you are interested in making these flowers, you can look at my previous video where I have a tutorial on how to make the flower. Now going forward on my channel, I'm gonna change it up a little bit of how I'm filming. Before, I would be doing videos where I'm showing you the DIY that I want to do, then I would show you the instructions on how I'm crocheting it, and then I go into like attaching it and finishing that video. And I don't think that's very fair for the people who don't care about crocheting, and that's fine. Some people love it, some people don't, and that's okay. So I definitely don't want to exclude my viewers who are just in it for the DIY and not in it for the crocheting. So what I'm going to do going forward, if I have a project such as this one, the main project is not crocheting, but there is some crocheting in the video, I'm going to make its own video. The crocheting part is going to have its own video that if you are interested in making this or anything that I crochet, there will be a separate video for that. So speaking of which, if you are interested in learning how to crochet this flower, there will be a link in the description and you can go check out the video that is just strictly making this flower. All right, moving on. The whole plan is I'm going to put, I think 3 of these, like one here, one here, one here. I think she has 4 or 5 on her sleeve. The size of them are just way too big to put 5 on here. But because this cardigan has pockets on the bottom, I'm also gonna make 2 more, and then I'm gonna put these flowers, 1 on each of the pockets. Although these buttons are like so stinking cute, like they're so cute, I might switch them out for some white ones because I think the white will really pop with the other white on here when all's said and done and I have all the flowers on here, if I like it or not. Having it on, it's kind of funny because it is very wide here, but like look at my sleeves. Look at that gap. Also, like I did wash it, so it's kind of stiff, right? Because I didn't put it in the dryer, I hung it up, and usually when you hang clothes up, they kind of get a little stiff. So if I really pull on it, kind of made a difference. I think that this will just look really cute once it's done. All right, it is a few days later now because it took me some time to make the flowers. All of these flowers. So yeah, I took some time doing that, but now I can finally move on to phase 2, which is taking this and adding the flowers to it. Now, where's my yarn needle? Oh goodness, I forgot where my yarn needle is. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I trust crafters who have organized spaces, because if they were crafting all the time, they wouldn't know where anything is because everything would be a total mess, such as me. I currently do not know where my yarn needle is. The one thing that I needed to attach this to this, and I saw it. Now I don't know where I put it. Is it in my makeup bag? Here's the thing. Sometimes I'll throw things in my makeup bag. One of these little Allen keys that I used to build something from IKEA. That's in here now. A pair of scissors are in here. No yarn needle. Did not find my yarn needle. I don't know where it is. I know it was connected to a piece of yarn. I lost it. I am not good with my things. Anywho, I found these. These are for sewing. They will do. They are heavy duty household needles. Got them at Fabricland. These guys, I think these will do. And as you can see, I'm already missing one. I took one out one time to use it and now it is gone. Found these. Good enough. Let's just attach some flowers. So I want one here, and one's gonna go here, and then we have 3 over there, and then we have 3 over there. I think I'm gonna do the arms first because this is pretty easy. So let's do this arm here. I need to flatten it out. So that's the middle of the shoulder. I'm kind of feeling it, and right here is the seam. So like the seam of how the arm is connected. The top part of the arm. And then this one can go here. I have the yarn that I'm going to be using. It's the same color as this. I obviously don't have the same green as that, but I think this would look a little bit better. Where are my scissors now? Getting my pair of scissors, getting my needle. First cut this. What I'm gonna do is I'm not actually going to put 2 pieces of yarn like you would normally do sewing. I'm just gonna do the one and then leave this at the end and then stitch it in when I'm ready to do that. So let's start at the top here, I think. So I'm gonna take my yarn needle and I'm gonna go inside here. And I'm gonna go through, all right, and then I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna pull, and then while I'm at the back here, I'm actually just gonna tie this off. Try my best to go around all of this, so I'm not just going to stitch one here, stitch one here, stitch one here. I'm actually going to try to stitch all the way around so it's really nice and secure and it's not going to like flop everywhere. So that's what I have to do with the power of editing. Time lapse this, because this is going to take a while and all I'm doing is just stitching it in. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So that's what I'm going to work on this afternoon, is just attaching all these flowers. All right, it is currently Monday. I need to finish this today, so then that way I can finish editing it tomorrow. That way this video can go up on Wednesday, hopefully. Yesterday I didn't film myself doing anything, even though I was working on it, because all I was doing was just attaching more flowers. And I still have way more flowers to attach. I'm just going to quickly show you what I have done right now. Yesterday, I finished putting this flower on, and then I added this flower on down here. I've already run into a problem. Again, this is not a DIY project if I don't mess up along the way and then decide not to fix that mess up because I'm too lazy. Such as this top flower. It's not straight. These are straight. Just got turned to the side. Cut me some slack. It was the first flower that I attached. Am I going to unattach it and redo it? Probably not. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Probably not, because I just don't feel like it. Maybe eventually if I get really annoyed with it, sure. But I want to get this project done, and me unstitching it and then attaching it again just is not in the cards for me right now. Putting these on the sleeves, they're a little difficult because what I originally thought was I was gonna like sew it normally where you go in, then you go through, and then you go back up. Trying to get my hand in here and like actually stitch it like that, it was kind of a nightmare. So what I ended up doing is actually just taking my needle and just going through a thread like this in and just kind of like looping it around, which worked, although I did need to put this in the sleeve. Knowing myself, I probably would attach the sleeve together, and then that's just not gonna work out. Here's one pocket done. It's bigger than the pocket, and then the other thing that I had to do was I actually had to stitch it within the pocket, and that was kind of difficult, especially when I got down here. That was a little tricky. And then like sewing the bottom part and then like little side part here and here, that was easy. Didn't have a problem with that. Trying to get my needle into this little tiny pocket was a little bit of a challenge. Speaking of needles, it's kind of a good thing that I lost my yarn needle. I still have not found it yet. This needle worked way better than I thought it was going to because, of course, I just don't take things into account before I start these projects. This is a lot tighter knitted than I thought it was gonna be. Don't think my yarn needle would have actually been able to go through this knit with the thick yarn onto it. I just don't think that would have been possible. It would have been a hassle. And then I probably would have given up on the yarn needle and ended up with the same needle that I'm using. So if you're doing a project like this with a more of like a tighter woven knit, definitely use one of these bad boys. They do hurt when you prick yourself with it, and it happens to me countless times. But today, don't want to bore you with anything else, I am going to just do the left side, and that should be it. Just sew all the flowers on. It is Tuesday. The video needs to go out tomorrow, and I decided I wanted to add buttons to the project. So that's just one extra step that I have to do now. I did put a poll on my Instagram asking if I should change the buttons or not, and it was almost kind of like 50-50. But the main reason I do want to change the buttons is that although I love the green buttons are amazing, I just don't think they pop on the sweater itself. And I think that the green buttons for maybe another project in the future would work better with a different fabric that like it's their time to shine. So today I'm at Fabricland, and I'm going to be looking for some white buttons. Hopefully I'll find some cute flower white daisy buttons. That's kind of what I'm going for. So let's go in and see if I hopefully can find something. I was kind of sad that I had to pick a certain type of button because there were so many cute ones. There was even like little turtle buttons, which I find adorable. My sister was telling me that there was a button sale this weekend, so there was a lot of empty racks. So I'm just like wondering what could have been on there. I did find a few cute buttons, like these ones were adorable, but they were too small. Then these ones were really cool, but they were $11. These ones were also a little bit too small. Okay, so I spent way too much time in that store trying to find the perfect button, and I did. I found like the perfect button. It was the right size, it was the right shape, it was like a little daisy. Unfortunately, it was the wrong color. They had it in every color, but the color that I needed it. The white was more of like this opaque blue clear color, which is not what I'm going for. So I ended up going with something else because the lady in there did tell me that they're going to get like spring buttons soon. So because I need to get this video out tomorrow, I could not wait. The next few times I'm in the store, I will probably look to find the right buttons, but I did find a really cute button that if in the end I do switch it out, I can use these buttons for other projects. So these are the buttons that I picked out. They definitely give you kind of like that vintage vibe, which is great. I really like the shape of them. They were $2 a pack. I got 6 of them. I got 6 buttons, not 6 packs, but I only need 5 buttons. And I ended up paying like $3 for them because I have the Fabricland card, and I think these are like 40-50% off all the time if you have the card. If I end up taking these off of the cardigan and find the floral ones for it. These would make really great buttons for maybe like a coat or another cardigan. These buttons are gonna get some good use out of them if I do end up switching. I'm going to head back home now, where I have to attach these buttons, finish filming it, finish editing it, and then I can get this video out. So I went through all my thread and I actually found this one in a really old sewing box that I forgot that I owned. And I don't even think I bought this thread. I don't know where it came from. It's honestly so close to what I need, because what ends up happening is that the buttons, you won't be able to see the thread through them, but you will be able to see the thread through this. So I want this to match, so that way when the cardigan is open, it's not going to be white thread, but it's going to be like this green thread that's going to blend in, hopefully. All right, and then it took me about, I want to say 20 minutes just to sew all these buttons on. Nothing too fancy, just, you know, hand sewing some buttons. It is done. I think it looks quite cute. Looks way better than it did before, especially with these white buttons. Yes, I think the buttons were definitely the right call. Here's the other buttons, and although these buttons here are super darling, super cute, I just think that they get lost in this cardigan. The colors are just so similar. I don't think it works for this project, although these buttons are super cute and I will use them for a future project. I don't know the project, but I will find one for them. Absolutely love it. Now again, because the cardigan, it's a little bit short. Even when I pull it like this and then I move around a bit, it just keeps shrinking. So in the end, I probably will be wearing them more like rolled up. I think that works. Another thing is because they are just a little bit of shorter of a sleeve, I think when I added the crocheted elements to it, I think it's going to shrink it in like all the time. So it's fine. It is what it is. It is what it is. So in the end, I only had to pay $3 to make this entire thing, not including labor. If it was including labor, it'd be much more. This, I had a credit on Poshmark, so I didn't have to pay for it, although I think it was $15. The yarn already had the yarn needle, already had the thread to attach the buttons to it. So the only thing I had to actually pay for is the buttons, and they were $2 a pack, and there was 2 a pack, had to buy 3 packs, and then I had my discount card, so instead of paying $6 for the buttons, I only paid 3 something with the tax. So compared to the $118 version of this, I think $3 is a pretty good price. Now, if I actually had to buy everything, this is how much everything would have cost. The sweater was $15. The yarn was $5, and I only needed 1 ball, and even that was too much. The yarn needles were $3 for the pack. The buttons were $6. And the grand total would have been $29. That will do it for this video. If you're new to my channel, like sewing, crafting, but mainly thrifting, why not subscribe? You can also follow me on my Instagram, which is fancydinoparty. I think that is it, so y'all have a good day now.